Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our time together to talk about conscious discipline. We are going to start today talking about the powers of conscious discipline. And the first one we're going to talk about is composure. The power of composure. It's being the person that you want your child to become. So we've learned in our past moments together that really we need to be in our executive state so that we can learn new things, right? We're always practicing and we're always teaching strategies to achieve our executive state so that we can learn. So as we work our way through this time together, we're going to talk about ways and tools that we can give the children and the people around us to calm themselves, to use active calming, to use the power of composure to get to their executive state. So it's important to note that our littlest ones, our infants and our toddlers, need to feel our calm, right? They're not going to be able to take hold of the tools that we're going to talk about here today. So just know that your inner state regulates the little ones. So in order to calm them, we stay calm and we download our calm to our littlest infants and toddlers. So this episode is for all ages, but just know for your tiniest ones, it's all about modeling and lending them your composure. So let's start with our Brain Smart Start. We are united. We're all here for the same reason, to learn a little more about conscious discipline. So let's put your hands on your opposite shoulders, cross at your ankles, and close your eyes. Let's just take 3 big deep breaths. So as you breathe in deep through your nose, feel your belly push out. And as you slowly breathe out through your nose, feel your belly pull in. Right, do that again. So breathe in deep through your nose, belly pushes out, breathe with your whole body. And then as you exhale, feel that belly pull in. Do that one more time. Do a big deep breath in and a slow breath out. So for step 3, for our connection, we're going to practice one of our connecting rituals. Okay, so if you have somebody around to do this with, grab them. Otherwise, you can just hold your fingers up, wiggling your fingers as if you were touching somebody else's fingers as we say, twinkle, twinkle, little star. What a wonderful child you are. You bring your arms to just rest gently on their shoulders with bright eyes and nice round cheeks. You can gently touch the outside of their face, or outside of their eyes, and then their cheeks. A talented person from head to feet as you touch the top of their head and then their toes. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. What a wonderful child you are. And then you can ask them if they'd like a hug and add a hug to the end of that. So if you have little ones, and now I'm saying to like ages 8 and 9, maybe even a little older, kids will still like this. It might sound silly, but what child doesn't want a moment from the people that they love the most to tell them what a wonderful child they are and look into their eyes for a moment and have a hug, right? So that's what the connection is about. For older kids or even grown-ups, if this isn't what you want to do with them, it doesn't have to be so soft and silly. It can be a hand clap game that's really fun, or even making up a secret handshake. So the last part of our Brain Smart Start is our commitment. So let's just commit together here. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to take 3 deep breaths when life doesn't go my way. So unfortunately, we can't be together right now in the same room, just all focused and devoted to this episode. We're at home, and so there might be kids there. Your phone might ring. You might be listening to this while you're trying to cook dinner, and that's okay. Just remember, if something comes up, some interruption, it might feel frustrating. You're just going to take 3 deep breaths when life doesn't go your way and bring yourself back into that executive state so you can learn. And then to do that, try our star breathing, right? It's a great reminder, a great one to teach to kids, and one we've talked about in our past videos. But we smile, take a deep breath, and relax. It's hard to hear someone say that and not actually do it, right? And I love the and relax of the star breathing because it usually triggers my shoulders to drop, right? My whole body relaxes when I think about that. So the power of perception. This is nobody can make you angry without your permission. It puts you in charge of yourself, right? Think about all of the times when you've caught yourself saying things like, look what you made me do, or everything was fine until you did that and now everyone's upset, or don't make me pull this car over. Right? Statements like that, that's giving somebody else permission to be in charge of us. Power of perception puts us in charge of ourselves. It allows us to model the behaviors we want to see and to be the person that we want our children to become, right? We are mapping out a blueprint for them about how they handle upset for the rest of their life. That's on us, right? So we model the behaviors we want to see. Our inner state is how we describe what's going on inside us, like what that feeling is when we're triggered, when we're upset. We use the brain state model to simplify and understand the brain, right? So for the survival and emotional executive state, if those are new words to you, I want you to stop, head back to the channel where this video is, and go back and watch those 3 brain state models and the connection video, and then jump back in with us. Survival state, right? Because it's really helpful to learn about these states because our brain can only access a limited amount of skills from each one of them. And when we're in our survival state, it is triggered when we feel threatened. It doesn't matter if the threat is physical or social, real or imagined. It only matters that we feel unsafe. That's so important, real or imagined. So often our children are in their survival and emotional state, and we know that they are safe, that this thing isn't a big deal, that they are going to be fine. So it's so hard to remember this, but it's so important. It doesn't matter if we know they'll be okay. They don't feel okay. It only matters that they feel unsafe. The survival state skills are physical reactions like fight, flight, or surrender. And when we feel unsafe, we have a really limited skill set, like really hard to access that star breathing when you're in your survival state. Our emotional state is triggered when life doesn't go our way. This happens a lot, right? These skills are more verbal, whining and name calling and judging and tattling, or sass, we would call it. When we're in our emotional state, we really can only express ourselves in these not so helpful ways. But here's where we want to be. Our executive state, this is calm and alert and composed. It's the only state where we can learn and problem solve. It's the only state where we can ask for help and truly receive help. Right? Have you ever been in your emotional state and been complaining to somebody and then they give you a solution? You can't even hear it. It's like, I just want you to listen to me and to maybe be upset with me. But when you're in your emotional state, when you're in survival state, you can't even grab hold of those solutions, even if they're the right thing for you to do, right? It's the executive state. It's the only place we can learn and problem solve. It's the only place our kids can learn and problem solve. This is the integrated brain and body state where we say the right thing at the right time and life goes smoothly. It's a lot of information. So just take a moment, let that sink in, and think about, what state are you in? Ideally, we want you to be in your executive state so you can learn from the things that we have ahead of us. So ask yourself, if you're not feeling in your executive state, what do I need? Maybe you just need to take a few breaths. Maybe you need to pause this because it's not the right time for you to watch this video and come back to it. Right? What do you need? Who is responsible for the state you are in? Is your boss? How about your partner, your kids, traffic, bank account, a pile of laundry? It seems silly to think about a pile of laundry being responsible for our inner state, but we do it all the time. We let these things be responsible for our inner state, to be in charge of us all the time. The laundry, the traffic, our boss might trigger the upset in us, but we're each responsible for our own inner state. So the power of perception is the key to owning that, to owning our inner states and choosing to change them from upset to calm. So we recognize we're triggered. We remember nobody is in charge of me but me. I'm responsible for my inner state. And I'm going to choose to move from upset to calm, or not, right? You can always just choose to be a hot mess too. So we know the single most important skill we can teach our children is the ability to calm themselves during times of upset, because it's never going to stop, right? The reasons they're upset might change. How often they're upset might change. But we're all grown-ups listening to this right now. We still get upset, right? We still put the traffic in charge of us. We still put how long the drive-through line is in charge of us. So we get it. The upset doesn't stop. So it's a gift that we're giving to our kids, learning how to calm themselves when they're upset. Self-regulation is the top predictor of life success. The top predictor of life success. And this is where it starts. So when a child's behavior triggers a feeling within us, composure creates a pause that allows us to choose how to behave, and we choose to behave in ways that are helpful and model how we want our child to handle conflict, right? So as a parent, as a teacher, as a grown-up, our internal state helps to regulate the child's state. Your child cannot be in a higher state than you. That's important. Your child cannot be in a higher state than you. Your child is crying and screaming. We come in screaming. The child can't get calm until we calm ourselves first. If you want your child to be able to learn and problem solve, then you both must be operating from a calm, executive state. Coach yourself first so that you can coach the children. Okay, so how we get there is active calming. So the shorthand is active calming. We take 3 breaths. Deep belly breaths. We remind ourselves, I've got this, I can handle this, and then we wish the other person well. So it's really important to take those 3 deep breaths. And usually when there's big conflict in front of us, we feel like we just need to get there right away. And sometimes for safety we do, but sometimes the best thing we can do for ourselves and the other people involved is to just pause for a moment and take 3 deep breaths. Just remind yourself, I'm safe. I'm going to keep breathing and I can handle this. I like to remind myself that this isn't about me. It's about them. They need my help. And then I wish well. So wishing well is just really seeing the beauty and the value in the other person, right? It's literally imagining that from your heart to their body, you are sending some love. Because when you can show a little love for the other person in front of you, it changes the way you view the interaction. It helps you see from their perspective. It helps you be willing to help them. Star. I'm reading this for you so that you can have this in this spot and come back here when you're ready to talk about star breathing and handling upset with your own child. So if you have smaller children, 0 to 5, you can come back and they can listen to me read this story, or you can just mute it and read it with them. I'm also going to put at the very end of the video, I'll have a read aloud of Schubert is a Star. So Schubert is Sophie's older brother, and it's designed for preschool age and up. Right, so for preschoolers, you just kind of decide how long they can sit for a story right now, and that'll help you choose. So this is Sophie. Mommy just left for the day. Sophie looks out the window. Her mouth is turned down, and there's a tear in her eye. Sophie feels sad. Daddy sees the frown on Sophie's face. Your face is going like this. You seem sad. You were hoping Mommy would stay with you. I'll keep you safe while mommy is gone. You can handle this. Let's take a deep star breath to calm down. We'll smile. Take a deep breath in through our noses like we're smelling a flower. And then relax as we blow the air out of our mouths, just like we're blowing out a birthday candle. Daddy says, let's do it again. Ready, set, go. They smile, take a deep breath, and then relax. One more time. Ready, set, go. A smile, take a deep breath, and relax. Sophie feels better. She builds with her blocks until mommy comes home. So dad stayed calm and helped her feel safe and connected, and now she's in her executive state, and she can go on with playing and feeling good, and dad can go back to what he needed to do, right? So dad says, I will keep you safe instead of you're fine, it's okay, because that might be what our instinct is when our child is crying because another parent has left to go to the store. Of course, mommy comes back. She always comes back. You know, it's just going to be a minute. You're fine. Those are our instinctual things to say, but we need to remember that nobody cries for no reason, right? You don't cry for no reason. There's always a reason when I'm crying, even if I feel like it might be a silly reason. There's always a reason. It's the same with our kids. It comes back to that. We don't get to make that decision on whether they feel safe or loved. It's them. Even if the threat is imaginary, it's still real to them, right? So he doesn't say you're fine. He doesn't say it's okay. So if your children are upset, it's not okay to them. Replace the fines and okays with I'll keep you safe or I've got you. Mommy went to the store, but I'm right here. I've got you until she gets back. Okay, so again, Schubert will be at the end. You'll see Schubert's right there with Sophie. Okay. So what is the safe place? The safe place is a learning center from conscious discipline. It's for learning regulation. It's a tool for learning, not a timeout. Timeouts are used for punishment, and they're ineffective in creating permanent behavior change, right? Timeouts may create shame. It may change a child's behavior because they're afraid of going into timeout or of upsetting their caregiver. But if what we want is to give them tools that they can use for the rest of their lives, then timeout is not it, right? That's a punishment. We want to create lasting change. So the safe place is where children can learn and practice the skill of self-regulation. Again, the ability to self-regulate is the #1 predictor of lifelong success. So the safe place changes with age. This is what it might look like in a classroom, right? A cozy spot with some books and all sorts of tools to help them get through their upset. But the safe place starts in the womb, and then it moves to the parent's chest and then the lap and then maybe an external safe place like our classroom. And then ultimately what we want is for them to carry their safe place within themselves. But this is an example of a classroom one. And just as we talked in the beginning, for infants and young toddlers, the safe place is you. So an infant or a toddler, and you'll know your own preschooler well enough, when we take a safe place, we're going to talk a little bit more about what it might look like at home, but when we take a safe place and make it mandatory, you go to the safe place and calm down, we have made it a timeout. So it's really important that you are there to download your calm. Eventually, they can go to the safe place themselves and work through it. Eventually, they don't need the physical safe space anymore because the tools are inside them. But especially in the beginning, we stay with them to download our calm, right? And for an infant and a young toddler, the safe place is always us. So in our safe place, we have some breathing tools, right? So we've talked about star breathing. We've got the drain breath, which if you stick around for Schubert, they'll model the drain breath. And then there's balloon breathing. So these fun breaths are nice for us to remember, but they really get our kids engaged in breathing and let them make up breathing. But for balloon breath, just interlace your fingers and place them on top of your head. And as you breathe in, push your arms up like you're inflating a balloon, and then slowly as you exhale, let that balloon deflate. So a safe place at home. It might be a comfy spot. You might put some breathing tools in there. So it might be some pictures of the star and the balloon and the drain. Maybe you have some calming books, some books that your child really likes to read that give some calming strategies. And right? That's really important because this is a place to practice active calming and self-regulation, not a punishment. So you are a really important ingredient in the safe place, and remembering that it's not a punishment. It will happen. There's going to be a time, even as you're practicing this, that your child is upset and you know they need the safe place, but you're upset too, and you forget to calm yourself first, and you just say, you need the safe place, go in there and calm down. Remember that it's not a punishment, right? So we need to calm ourselves first so we can guide them through it. And another tip about the safe place at home, we need to remember that we're always working towards a higher brain state. The point of getting them to breathe, the point of giving them a safe place, it's all an effort to get them to their executive state so that you can problem solve. So when they are in their survival state, and remember that's fight or flight, there might be some serious adrenaline coursing through their body, and they might need some big movements to get it out. So when they're in that kicking, screaming, imagine that adrenaline is getting trapped in their big muscles in their legs or the larger muscles in their arms. They might need to stomp and kick a little bit in a safe way to get that big stuff out. You can provide safe ways for them to do that, like putting their hands on the wall and pushing as hard as they can, like they're trying to move the wall, or taking a soft, cushy mat and giving them a place to stomp, stomp, stomp. You need to get that big stuff out before we can work towards calm, right? We need to get them to a point where they can take some breaths so that they can move on to the safe place and to using these tools. Some other breathing tools might be, by the way, a pinwheel or a fake flower to breathe in, maybe a picture of a candle or a birthday cake to practice breathing out. So again, big upset in the safe place. This is where we remember that if it's big upset, they need to get it out just a little bit before they can move on. So you need to take your deep breaths, because that's usually when we're triggered. The bigger they're upset, the more we're triggered, the more we need to breathe and calm down so we can be there to get them through it. Okay, so what's next? You're gonna read Schubert or Sophie with your child, practice breathing when you're triggered, download your calm, remember Q-tip, quit taking it personally. The behavior is happening in front of you. It's not happening to you, right? This isn't about you. They need their help. And then remember that, oops, I did it again. You're going to learn all this stuff, and you're going to feel really motivated to change things and change the way that you interact with your child and handle their upset. And you're going to do it, and it's going to feel amazing. And then the next time they get upset, you're going to forget to breathe first, and you're going to yell while they're yelling, and it's not going to go great. And oops, you did it again. It's okay. It's okay. It's a constant practice. Constant practice in remembering that everybody is doing their best. That includes you. So materials, we have some materials to share with you that unfortunately we're not together, so it's not so easy to get it to you, but we've got two different ways for you to get this material. When you finish this video, in the description, there will be a link for you to complete just a few things to get these materials. I can either email these materials to you if you have the ability to print them out, or you can leave me your address and we will mail out a physical copy of the materials for you. Okay. One other thing I'm going to link in the description for you is this Power of Perception webinar. It's just under 30 minutes. I really encourage you, just like this video, you don't have to sit and watch the entire thing. You can, put it on your phone, put a earbud in and make your dinner, or listen to it in the car like a podcast. It's got some really great, valuable information. The next time we're together, we're going to talk about assertiveness and setting limits respectively. But we're in no rush to that. So take these weeks ahead of you to keep practicing the skill of composure, right? Modeling the person that you want your child to become, modeling the person that you want yourself to become, right? It's all a practice, and it's okay to mess up. So until then, I wish you well. Schubert is a star. It's a stormy day in Bug Valley. Schubert and his sister Sophie are watching the rain from their kitchen window. They both feel mad because they can't go out and play, and Schubert sings grumpily, "Hooray, hooray, what a yucky day. Hooray, hooray, I feel mad today." And then he stomps off to his room. That night, Schubert still feels mad. He refuses to eat dinner. "I'm not eating these worms. I don't like fried worms." He refuses to do his homework. "I'm not counting fleas. I don't like counting fleas." He even refuses to take a shower. "I'm not getting in the rain. I don't like mud between my toes." He wakes up the next morning feeling just as mad, and he continues to sing his grumpy song. "Hooray, hooray, another yucky day. Hooray, hooray, I still feel mad today." And he slams the door and he heads out to school. At school, Crenshaw, the cricket, is doing his job as the class greeter. He welcomes Schubert and Sophie. "Good morning, Schubert. Good morning, Sophie. It's good to see you." "Whatever," replies Schubert without even looking. Sophie says, "Good morning, Crenshaw," and they share a butterfly handshake. Schubert's body is tense. He has angry hands, angry shoulders, and an angry face. He walks towards his desk and steps on Etta the earthworm's hole just because he feels like it. Etta screams from below, "I don't like being trapped, Schubert, please move." But Schubert just stands there. Mrs. Bookbinder hears Etta use her big voice and walks toward Schubert to keep the classroom safe. As she approaches, Schubert moves his foot so that Etta can get out. Mrs. Bookbinder congratulates Etta. "You did it. You used your big voice to tell Schubert what you wanted." Then Mrs. Bookbinder speaks to Schubert. "You seem to be having a hard time this morning. Your shoulders are scrunched up just like this. Your hands are balled up tight just like this. You grumped at Crenshaw's greeting and you were hurtful to Etta. Your body and your actions are telling me you might be feeling mad." Schubert says nothing. Mrs. Bookbinder points to 3 lotion bottles on the shelf. "Would you like some boo-boo cream, cranky cream, or concentration cream?" she asks Schubert. He still says nothing. "I can see by your actions that cranky cream might be helpful." She takes the cream and she rubs some of it on Schubert's hand, singing, "Bye bye crankies, bye bye crankies, bye bye crankies. It's time to say goodbye." Schubert walks over and puts his head down on his desk. Mrs. Bookbinder gathers the rest of the class together. She asks them, "Have you ever felt mad?" All together they respond, "Yes." She tightens her fist and continues, "Have you ever felt bug crazy mad?" Again, they all answer, "Yes." Mrs. Bookbinder makes an angry-looking face to go with her tight fists and asks, "Have you ever felt oodle doodle bug crazy mad?" "Yes," the class shouts. "Yes, yes, yes." Magically, Mrs. Bookbinder softens her voice. "Have you ever felt calm?" She takes a deep breath. She acts calm. The class whispers softly, "Yes." Relaxing her face, she asks, "Have you ever felt caterpillar calm?" And they all whisper, "Yes." In her most peaceful voice, Mrs. Bookbinder asks one more time, "Have you ever felt oozy doozy caterpillar calm?" The class chants gently, "Yes, yes, yes." Which one helps you feel safe? Caterpillar calm or bug crazy mad? Mrs. Bookbinder asks. Most of the class picks caterpillar calm. Mrs. Bookbinder then wonders, "Do you know how to change from bug crazy mad to caterpillar calm?" The class sits totally still. Nobody knows the answer. With a gleam in her eye, Mrs. Bookbinder announces, "Well, we're in luck. Schubert came to school bug crazy mad, giving us all a chance to learn how to become caterpillar calm. I'm going to teach you 3 ways to turn bug crazy mad into caterpillar calm. Schubert, are you willing to demonstrate the first way?" As Mrs. Bookbinder asks Mrs. Bookbinder as she holds up one finger, Schubert nods yes as he walks to the front of the class. "Follow me and do what I do. I'm going to teach you draining." Mrs. Bookbinder instructs, "Hold your arms out straight in front of you. Make your hands into fists. Tighten all the muscles in your arms. Squinch your shoulders up towards your ears. Squeeze the muscles in your face tight, tight, tighter. Now take a deep breath. Breathe out and relax. Open up your fists and let all your anger drain out through your hands. Let your bug crazy mad feelings drain out of your body like water out of a sink faucet." Schubert follows Mrs. Bookbinder carefully. Mrs. Bookbinder turns to the class and says, "Let's try draining." As Schubert and the class practice draining, Mrs. Bookbinder tells them, "You're doing it. You held your arms out tight and let all your anger drain out just like this. Now you're ready to learn the second way to change bug crazy mad into caterpillar calm." She looks at Schubert. "Are you willing to help again, Schubert?" Feeling more relaxed, Schubert answers, "Let's do another one. Follow me and do what I do. I'm going to teach you how to balloon. So put your hands on your head, lock your fingers together, breathe in deeply, raise your hands up over your head like your air is filling up with a big balloon. Sniff in more air, sniff in one more time, and then let the air out as you drop your hands back down to your head, and the entire class goes as they empty their pretend balloons. Angie, one of the 3 ant triplets, giggled. "The air filled up my body with love." And Schubert adds, "I like ballooning. I don't feel so yucky anymore." "Good for you, Schubert," says Mrs. Bookbinder. She holds up 3 fingers as she continues. "Now, are you ready for the third way to change bug crazy mad into caterpillar calm?" This time he nods. All eyes are on Mrs. Bookbinder as she pulls out a star wand with glitter and tassels. The third way to change bug crazy mad into caterpillar calm is to be a star. Star means stop. Take a deep breath and relax. Mrs. Bookbinder touches the wand on Schubert's shoulder as he demonstrates. He stops what he's doing. He takes a deep breath and he relaxes his whole body. Benny jumps up and starts dancing and singing. "If you're angry and you know it, be a star. If you're angry and you know it, be a star." "Hold on, Benny," guides Mrs. Bookbinder. "We have a place in the classroom where you can use these skills when you feel bug crazy mad. It's called the safe place. This beanbag will be the safe place for our classroom." "I'm going to try it out," shouts Crenshaw. He sits in the safe place and begins draining. Next, Lucinda and Etta go to the safe place and practice ballooning. "I'm going to be a star," announces Schubert as he tries out the safe place. "It works," he shouts. "I changed from feelings of oodle doodle, bug crazy mad to oozy doozy, caterpillar calm." Mrs. Bookbinder beams with love as she says, "Yes, you did it, Schubert. You used your star power." The class gathers around the safe place as Schubert begins to sing a song. Hooray, hooray, mad is okay. Hooray, hooray, calm's a better way. Hooray, hooray, I changed my yucky day. Hooray, hooray, I'm a star today. The end. Until next time, I'm wishing you well.